Zach's got plenty of skill.
We have learned a lot
Let me
about
talk
Zach
about
today.
redneck blinds. That's right. If you a big-time bow hunter or deer hunter of any kind, or just want a big-looking tree house, that's the place to go. Go out to Mobile Attic, see Miss Betty out that way, or give them a call, 216-0237, Highway 72 West. By the way, on the way out there, you got to go right by Dixie Auto Sales for right now. Shadawa. SHINDAIWA units are 20% off fleet discount. You go by Dixie, they are the finest folks in the world to do business with.
It's a really good brand.
Huh?
It's a really good brand.
It is a good brand. Shadawa. Y'all know I have the ability to announce words when other people can't.
Yeah.
So, you know that,
speech, yeah.
Dee, man, why do you come up here?
That's a good question.
I don't know. You keep asking me to, so I mean, I ain't got anything else to do at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
you don't want me to come up here anymore?
At least you ain't off building on fire. But anyway, we talked about what I'll be doing 3 years from now, probably the same thing.
We have talked about that.
Talked about how what I do a day affects what I'll be doing 3 years from now.
Yeah, we've had that conversation.
So what are we talking about today?
Who's the most successful person you've ever met?
My neighbor.
I know him, ain't I?
I mean, because you've talked to a lot of people over the years. You've interviewed a lot of people.
You talking about money-wise?
Really
Just
know?
the person you think is one of the most successful
just
people you've ever
money.
met.
Randy Owen.
How do you think he got that successful?
Did what he believed in.
I think that's one thing.
Worked hard.
Talented.
Oh,
That helps.
clearly that always helps.
Didn't blow his money on big 650 Ford trucks.
Has the
I
same
kept
wife.
waiting. I was hoping I was going to see that yellow truck parked out here when I
He
got here
has
this
the
morning.
same first wife.
He has the same wife. And something else, and Gloria brings up, Randy Owen, last time we were at Randy's house.
Yeah, he's very conservative.
Tell us about the shoes.
We pull up, and he pulls up in this old beat-up truck.
That
and
was
he
his daddy's
gets out,
truck.
His daddy's truck that he loves. He gets out, and he shows me these boots. He said, check these out. I said, those are pretty nice. He goes, I just got them resold for the 3rd time. Kelly got them for me for my graduation gift.
Had them 30, 40 years.
I mean,
Well, what's wrong with
They
that?
were still good.
They were
He liked
good. He
them.
liked them. They fit well. I mean, you know how it is when you get a good pair of boots or a shirt.
Wear boots or Crocs. About to kill myself.
I know we still need to talk about that, but that's another topic.
First time
for
I ever
another
went
day.
over to Randy's house, Kelly, his wife, yeah, a good point, he's first wife.
Yeah, she cuts the grass.
She would cook lunch for him. They lived in a house, probably wasn't as big as a studio.
Little
Got
bigger
their
than a
first
shack.
check for $1 million from RCA Records, building a mansion across the street. My house twice that size now. His is paid for.
They live within their means.
See, I'm one of them people. Dead, is kind of, that's a good thing.
To who?
Well,
I'm glad it is
when
your
I'm
name.
gone, you'll inherit it.
It is your name.
So,
Well, here's the this
what's
is
that
the
got to
reason
do with
I
what we're
asked.
talking about?
When I get around folks like that,
Yeah.
and you've got one or two choices. You can either be curious or you can just be complacent about it. You can be curious and want to ask them questions about how they did it and see what you can learn from them, or you can just be complacent and go, well, he just got lucky, or he had some inside connection. Well, the better thing is to ask them questions. Like, how did you do that?
You're
How
not
did you do that?
relating it to just financial. There's a lot
it's
to
just
your personality, your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Are you pleased with life? I mean,
What
Roy's
talent
successful
that you
because he's happy
have.
with what he's got going on.
Yeah, well, I mean,
About his marriage.
it's just like since I've been up here.
See, Roy married into the German family, the Von Clem
family.
So, I mean, he's got a...
But I mean, that's why how you get successful is you ask people that you get to be around how they did it. How did they do this thing? I mean, think about, I've been doing the show, 6 or 7 times now or whatever, and every time we get done, when the show's over, don't I always have a question? I'm asking you something about how did you do this business? How did you get into it? What were you thinking?
You need
what are you
to
doing?
change your outlook on who you think's successful around here and start asking somebody else a question.
Well, I mean, you got a TV show, so you got something going on, and you've been able to stay in TV for how many years?
40.
I don't know many people who have done anything for 40 years.
Well, you think I'd make something of myself?
Well, I mean, there's still hope, Jamie. I mean, you still got a chance.
Shut up, Tom. You're the one that sold me that house I'm living in now.
Don't give up.
But I mean, that really is. That's the thing to
I've
do.
got a bidet at my house I ain't never used except to drink out of before. Maddie loves going there.
Cold water.
Turns it on.
Now we
pour hot
fight,
water.
Maddie. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I don't even know how to use it.
I just can't go
Come here,
there.
baby.
That's just
Well, you can use it and you come over.
Can I really?
Oh, yeah. We've had people take pictures in there with it.
There's not a lot of those in Athens, you have to admit, Jamie. I mean, it's a little bit of a novelty thing.
So go ahead, make me feel better about myself.
Just trying to ask, that's how you get to be successful, is when you get to be around guys who are, is ask them
By the way,
questions.
the winner of today's contest wins a six-pack of Vienna sauce, the
Please,
original.
someone take them.
Well, Maddie was grabbing them. Okay, go ahead, Dad.
Yeah. So you just ask them questions. How did they get to do what they do? Why do they do what they do? There's so much information that's out there for guys if they'll just open their mouth.
Most people are intimidated and don't want to ask somebody.
I know, and that's what's so crazy about it, because really successful people don't mind sharing. I mean, if they think you're serious and you ask them questions, I don't know of a successful guy I've ever talked to who wasn't willing to go, yeah, I'll sit down and talk to you. I'll answer some questions for you. There's no need to be intimidated by them, because they started off without anything just like you do. It's just asking.
Well, no, wait a minute. You don't know I didn't start out without anything. I started out in a trailer in New Hope across from Mom and Daddy, married to her mama.
Her.
Brought home
At least there's a new her.
$283 a month.
Well, clearly you had a head start on most people, but for the people who don't have a head start,
I was zooming, man.
I mean, you were way ahead of the game, but some people would have to catch up with you at that point. But just to ask successful people, how do they do what they do? Why do they do what they do? What did they end up with? Instead of just sitting there thinking, well, they just got lucky, or their dad knew somebody, or they just got this break that nobody else got. Because that's what
your breaks.
You do.
You
got to be prepared when the break comes. And so you got to know what they did. I mean, just because I'm not in broadcasting, I want to ask a guy that's bought his own TV station. You're the only guy I know
I'm a
that
living
does.
legend. What? Go ahead.
Well,
Build me up
clearly.
some more. I'm going to keep you on, Dee. Go ahead. Build me up.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to be sure. But I wanted to know, I didn't know how to buy a TV station.
Do you want to know? I can. You are. This is Dee Lauderdale. Oh, lucky day.
He is the man with his own TV show.
Well, maybe Dad will co-sign the note with me over there.
First National opens at 9 o'clock. They got the note now. This can be Dee Lauderdale broadcasting by the end of the day.
But just to find out, I didn't know even how you would go to buy a TV station. It never occurred to me. So it's been fascinating to me to learn that, because I've learned a lot of stuff from that.
I'm the world's worst at operating one.
I'll work with you on that.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew somebody had to be operating it. I mean,
will sign up as that's a good thing for you and Sheila to get into. She can have her own cooking show.
And you got the set already for her?
That's right.
We could be the next Duck Dynasty.
You sure could. You can invite her neighbor up too.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
we may have come up with a new show idea.
Yep.
I mean,
it's all about you.
I agree.
See, that's the thing that's attractive to. Could be all about me.
That's right. Instead of all
that's
about
what
me.
I'm learning from you. I mean,
and by the way, that
Pretty
business
song.
name, All About Me, just went out of business down on 4th Street.
I know where you can get the sign pretty cheap.
Yeah. What other questions have you got for me?
Is that you?
Is that it?
What? No. I just thought we were going to keep going with that. So what do you do when you meet people who are successful? Do you even talk to them?
He talks to everyone.
I know. So think about the stuff you've learned.
I made a living off doing stories on the people that weren't that successful.
But then you were smart enough. You've obviously been around some people who knew what they were doing. I mean, you were at 31 for a long time. That was owned by one guy, right? MD started that. And you were around Bill with this part of it. So think about all the stuff you learned just by asking questions. And that's all I'm trying to get people to do, especially young guys who think, how can I get ahead? How do I be successful? Just every time you meet somebody who knows what they're doing, ask them questions. I keep a list of questions on my phone if I'm ever around somebody who looks like they know what they're doing, and I just ask them 2 or 3 different things.
Now, if you didn't know I was such a successful media maggot and you just saw me out when you say, what? I got to talk. That guy just looks like he's super successful.
Yeah, absolutely I would. I mean, you got your name on your own.
Maggot's got it going on.
I mean, you're driving a Hummer, so obviously you can afford to put the gas in it, so you got something going on.
I don't get out of Athens. I barely do get off of Lindsay Lane.
He coasts around the roundabout.
So I'd want to know how you do
I
things.
won't have to cut you short here this morning. He's got a book out. I got to get James Wright up here in a second. He's going to